Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and more breakthroughs for the Ukrainians over at the Velyka Novosilka sector of the Zaporizhzhia offensive. So the Zaporizhzhia front is basically goes all the way here. This is the entire Zaporizhzhia front with the Ukrainians attacking in a different sector. There's four different sectors at the Zaporizhzhia front, and so we are at the most eastern part at the Velyka Novosilka sector. So the Ukrainian forces are attacking over at Pryyutne, and they are also attacking north of Pryyutne from Rivnopil and Levadne, and to capture this Russian lines over the river. And based on the latest information, it seems that the Ukrainians has been successful. In the latest information, the mapping from neutral sources, the Russian forces has been forced back from their initial line along the river here, forced back to the line somewhere around this area here. So the Russian forces probably have been overwhelmed by a pincer attack, because we have the attack coming from Rivnopil in the north and then from Levadne from the west. And if this information is true, then we might actually going to be seeing a lot of pressure around Pryyutne, because this is a pretty strategic town for the Ukrainians to hold, to control, to capture. And with this push in this way, we might have to see the Russians falling back to the next line of defense, which is also a river, over here. So the Russians also has been reported to be doing their own offensive in the western part of Staromaiorske. So which is just as successful as this, the Ukrainian forces were forced back in this area here. So what we do know around the Staromaiorske region is that the Ukrainian forces have been trying to attack Staromaiorske for some time, and they have managed to capture some of the high ground in the western part of Makarivka. And for some times they have been attacking into the west of Staromaiorske to try to encircle and force a Russian retreat. This have not worked out, and now the Russians have launched their own offensive in this area here west of Staromaiorske, so that they were able to at least control the ground, to give them more security. However, the development over at this area here with the Ukrainians managed to have some success is not going to spell good for the Russians. If the Russian forces continue to fall back further, the Ukrainians will be able to attack the rear of this front line that the Russians have managed to capture. And over on the eastern part of the Velyka Novosilka sector, the Ukrainian forces continue to try to attack towards Urozhaine. However, maybe it's a great expense of the grounds or something. The Ukrainian forces have not been successful. The attempted assault towards Urozhaine has been intercepted by artillery and airstrikes of the Russians. So far, they do not have any. They have not even contacted the Russian troops yet. They have not gone into a firefight with the Russians directly. And interestingly, we also have reports of fighting on the western part of Novodonetske, which is here. And this fighting at the western part is pretty new, because we have not seen fighting at Novodonetske for at least a few weeks already after the Ukrainians gave up on this town. So this renewed fighting is interesting, but it was only reported on the 7th of July. We haven't seen any reports of fighting on the western part of Novodonetske on the 8th. So we shall continue to monitor how this goes. And just want to show you the importance of the high ground at Makarivka. If you look down from Makarivka, you can see that there's some high ground in this area here. So this is where the Russian forces previously have positions on. They were having this position and they were firing into Makarivka, and so the Ukrainian forces have already overrun this position. This is why this was significant, and so the Russians are now trying to go up again, and maybe swing towards Makarivka and force the Ukrainians into giving up Makarivka again. So the to and fro. So this is the situation over at the Velyka Novosilka sector. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.